You're not anxious because you're broken. You're anxious because your day has no friction control. From the moment you wake up, everything is abrupt. You grab your phone. You rush to the bathroom. You shut a drawer too hard. You drop your keys. You answer a message while brushing your teeth. Nothing looks dramatic, but your body reads all of it. That is the part most people miss. Stress is not only created by big problems, it is also created by the way you move through ordinary moments. A lot of Japanese-inspired self-care gets sold as something beautiful. From a distance, tea rooms, hot baths, quiet temples, perfect rituals. But real regulation often starts somewhere much less impressive, with how you place a cup down, how you open a door, how you pick something up, how fast you move when nobody is watching. Because rushed movement teaches the body that pressure is normal. Fast hands, hard movements, tight shoulders, short breathing, that becomes your baseline without you noticing. Now flip it. You set the mug down gently. You close the cabinet without slamming it. You put your phone on the table instead of dropping it. You stand up without rushing the next task. Those actions are tiny. Neurologically, they are not. They tell your nervous system, there is no emergency right now. You are safe. You do not need to brace. That is where this starts. Not with a full life reset. Not with more motivation. With one simple shift, move like your body is listening. Most people do not need more energy. They need a better way to enter the day. That is why the second shift matters. Stop treating your first drink like a delivery system and start treating it like a reset. Your first drink sets your tempo. On a bad morning, this is what usually happens. You reach for coffee, half awake. You check your phone while the water heats. You drink standing up. Your mind is already in your inbox, your stress, your next problem. So before the caffeine even hits, your body is already moving too fast. That is the trap. In many traditional Japanese routines, matcha is not valued only for what is in the cup. The preparation matters too. The bowl is placed with care. The powder is sifted. The water is poured slowly without rushing. The whisk moves in a steady rhythm, and that ritual changes more than the drink itself. It begins calming the body before the first sip even happens, because slower preparation shifts your internal state before the day can speed you up again. And that is the part worth stealing. Not become a matcha person, not buy better tools. Just stop beginning your day like you are already behind. Make one drink slowly, one mug, 2 hands, no phone, no multitasking. 10 quiet seconds while the water pours. No dopamine, no inbox, no race. One breath before the first sip. That is not laziness, that is regulation. And repeated daily, it teaches your body a new rule: the day does not have to begin in panic. If your room feels heavy before noon, it may not be your mood. It may be your air. That sounds small, but it is not. A lot of people wake up, stay inside, and move through the same stale room for hours. Same air, same temperature, same smell, same closed feeling. Then, they wonder why their brain feels foggy, flat, or slightly trapped before the day even gets going. This is where the next Japanese-inspired habit is so practical: open the windows every day, even briefly. Not because it looks peaceful, because your nervous system notices when a space has stopped moving. In many households in Japan, opening the windows each day is not only about cleaner air, it also resets the feeling of the room itself. Fresh airflow, changing light, outside sound, and that subtle shift in temperature all tell the body something has changed. The space no longer feels sealed, flat, or stuck, and that small sensory reset helps the nervous system come out of that compressed, stagnant state. And that is the part most people underestimate. Fresh air is not a luxury. It is maintenance. Open 2 windows for 3 minutes. Let the curtains move. Let colder air hit your skin. Let outside sound enter the room. Let the space stop feeling sealed. That tiny change does something important. It tells your body the day has started. The room is alive again. You are not stuck in yesterday's air. And once you do this consistently, the room stops feeling like a container and starts feeling like a reset. So here is your move for tomorrow morning. Open 2 windows for 3 minutes before you check your phone. If you are doing that, comment 1 below. Most people do not end the day. They just crash into the night. One more message, one more bright screen, one fast shower, one more minute of stimulation. Then they expect sleep to happen on command. It usually does not. Your body can't slam the brakes. That is the shift behind this next Japanese-inspired habit. Stop treating bathing like basic cleaning and start treating it like decompression. In many homes in Japan, A warm bath is not just about washing off the day. It is part of stepping out of it. Warm water, softer light, less noise, a slower pace. That sequence gives the body a clear signal that the active part of the day is ending. The bath becomes more than hygiene. It becomes physical recovery, mental downshifting, and a gentle boundary between daytime pressure and the quieter hours that follow. That matters because the nervous system learns through sequence. Warm water, stillness, slower breathing, less input, no screen in your hand. Now your body gets the message. We are shutting down. Most people want better sleep, but they give their body no runway. You don't fall asleep. You descend. That is the missing piece. A rushed rinse under bright light is hygiene. A warm soak with intention is downshifting. Even 10 minutes changes the signal. Your shoulders drop, your jaw loosens, your breathing gets deeper. Your mind stops acting like it still has somewhere to go. The goal is not to force sleep. It is to build one clear bridge between daytime and rest. And once the body learns that bridge night starts feeling different, sleep stops feeling like a battle. It starts feeling like the next natural step. A lot of people think they are tired. Sometimes they are just visually overloaded. You walk into your room and your brain starts working immediately. A pile on the chair, 3 things on the dresser, cables showing, products on the sink, boxes you stopped noticing 2 weeks ago. None of it looks dramatic, but your nervous system still has to process it. That is the next Japanese-inspired shift. Stop thinking about visual simplicity as style and start treating it like recovery. In many homes in Japan, rooms are kept visually lighter on purpose, not empty just to look aesthetic, clearer so the brain has less to scan and less to react to. Too many visible objects quietly demand attention all day long. Simpler spaces reduce that background pressure and give your eyes, your mind, and your nervous system a place to finally rest. That matters more than people realize, because when every surface is asking a question, your mind never fully lands. What is that? Should I move that? Do I need to deal with that later? Why is that still there? You may not say those thoughts out loud. Your brain still runs them. And, after a full day, that extra processing adds up. So this is not about becoming a minimalist. It is about reducing unnecessary signals. One clear nightstand works better than 7 random objects. One tray works better than loose items. One clean counter gives your eyes somewhere to rest. Empty space is not wasted space. It is visual silence. And visual silence does something powerful. It lets your body feel like home is no longer asking anything from you. Novelty feels like freedom. To your nervous system, it often feels like uncertainty. That is the problem most people miss. They think a better life has to look different all the time. New routine, new schedule, new habit stack, new way to fix themselves. But when too much keeps changing, the body never fully settles. Sleep shifts, meals shift, evenings shift, and when those 3 keep moving, your baseline starts moving with them. That is why this next Japanese-inspired shift matters. Stop chasing novelty and start respecting routine. Not because routine is exciting, because routine is efficient. In many Japanese-inspired routines, repetition is not treated like failure or boredom. It is treated like stability, similar breakfasts, familiar walking routes, regular timing, the same small patterns repeated until the body trusts them, because when your day is predictable, your brain stops spending so much energy trying to figure out what comes next. Stress drops, and a quieter sense of safety starts to take its place. That matters more than people realize. When your morning happens in a familiar order, your body stops guessing. When meals land around the same time, your system works better. When your evening rhythm repeats, sleep stops feeling random. This is not about making life rigid. It is about removing unnecessary decisions. You do not need a brand new day every morning. You do not need constant variety to feel alive. Sometimes what your body wants most is something familiar enough to trust. So start small. Keep the same first drink. Take the same short walk. Use the same wind-down order at night. And if you want a calmer baseline, comment 1 and I'll give you a 3-part baseline template. One of the fastest ways to keep your nervous system tired is this: never let your mind be unstimulated. The second, there is a gap. Most people reach for something. Phone at the red light, video while eating, podcast while folding clothes, scrolling while waiting for water to boil. Nothing feels extreme, but your brain never gets a true off-ramp. That is where this next Japanese-inspired shift hits hard. Stop treating boredom like a problem. Treat it like recovery. In a lot of modern routines, boredom gets crushed the second it appears. But in quieter Japanese-inspired rhythms, there is room to wait without instantly reaching for stimulation. Sitting still, watching rain, looking at a garden, letting a few empty minutes stay empty. That is not laziness. It is nervous system recovery. And honestly, this is where a lot of people are losing more energy than they realize. Because constant stimulation does not just entertain you. It keeps your dopamine system overfed. It makes normal moments feel flat. It trains your attention to panic the second life gets quiet. Then people say they cannot focus. But the truth is, they have not practiced stillness in weeks. This is why boredom matters. Not because boredom itself is magical, because when you stop feeding your brain every spare second, your baseline starts changing. You notice your breathing again. You notice tension faster. You notice your thoughts before they turn into stress. A few phone-free minutes can steady your attention and give your nervous system room to breathe. So, the real shift is simple. Not every empty moment needs to be filled. Some of them are where your mind finally comes back to you. You are not restless because you lack discipline. A lot of the time, you are restless because stress has nowhere to go. It stays in the body, in your shoulders, in your jaw, in your breathing, in that wired feeling that follows you even when you finally sit down. That is why this next Japanese-inspired shift matters so much. Stop thinking of walking as exercise only and start using it as regulation. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. They think movement only counts if it is intense. A hard workout, a sweat session, a perfect routine. But for an overloaded nervous system, what helps most is often something simpler, a steady walk that gives your stress somewhere to leave. In Japan, walking is often built into daily life, instead of treated like a performance. And that steady, rhythmic movement helps release tension, calm the mind, and give stress somewhere to go. That is what makes this habit so practical. You walk after a heavy conversation. You walk before going back inside. You walk after dinner, instead of going straight into more screen time. You let your body keep moving long enough for your mind to stop gripping everything so hard. Because sometimes clarity does not come from thinking more. It comes from moving long enough for the internal noise to drop. And once walking becomes part of your baseline, the day feels different, less trapped, less compressed, less mentally crowded. So here is your move. Take 1-1-0 minute walk with no phone in your hand, no audio, no scrolling, just movement. And if this is the habit your body needs most right now, comment 1 below.